responded to a few videos, 3 videos anyway, one by Pyro, one by Matt, and one for Heidi Says over at Vloggerheads. So I'm making 2 versions of this video. This is the second attempt at it, and just trying it from different angles, and who knows if it'll make any sense or not. It just, wasted time in a way, but whatever. That's what I'm doing, so forget about it. Don't argue with me. So anyway, I'll start with Pyro here. So he's made another video saying this free will thing, and he's basically using this analogy now. If this life is a stream, and if we could go back, we would do the stream differently somehow. So it doesn't make any sense. He's not really saying, if you went back in time, even if you're going to use a stream metaphor, the boat would be the same, you would be the same, the stream would be the same. You would end up doing exactly what you're going to do this time, the time you did the thing. So if we replayed history, history would do the same thing. We'd have to change something to make a change happen. We'd have to circumstantially change one of the causes for any of the effects to change. And he keeps defending this notion of free will just because, and he's admitted, because it's some sort of personal thing for him. He can't live without it. He can't perceive the world without it. He has to assume its existence or something. He's called it a prejudice or a bias, I think. But it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's logically insane to preface something by saying, well, here, I'm going to talk philosophy, but here's my bias. I mean, if you're going to call it that right up front and you already know it's a bias, then what's the point in it? Look, we're programmed machines. It's all over the place, the evidence of it. You have to be conditioned, you have to be educated. It just doesn't come from nowhere. There's no spontaneous thinking happening. All right? There's cause and effect. There's a bunch of programmed reflexes, and then we have an end result that's the product of their mixing, their integrate, that they are combined with each other, and they come up with a product, and that product is our decision. And yes, we should be held responsible in the sense that we certainly can be labeled dumb, stupid, idiotic, asshole. All those words still work, whether we're deterministic or not. We can still label something broken and stupid. We can still be jackasses. The fact that we couldn't be anything else doesn't change the reality that we should have been something else, that there was every reason for us to be something else, and it was only through denying reality that we became an asshole. I mean, in a way, a religious person has to take responsibility for their faith. They have a ton of evidence that says there's no God. Everything around them says there's no God. It's screaming in their ear. Okay, the fact that there's an Islamic and a Jesus religion that are completely incompatible with each other sort of demonstrates that somebody has to be right and somebody has to be wrong with this stupid God delusion. So it's already at best, one of you can be right, but the likelihood is that you're both out of your fucking minds. So, I mean, the logic is there in front of them, so they have to take responsibility in the sense that somebody can say, well, why? Why did you do that? I mean, why did you accept this God thing? Why did you cling to that nonsense? You had every indication it's a 1,000-year-old fairy tale. You've seen where it came from. You've seen what it did in the past to people's psychology. You see what it was an excuse for. I mean, how the hell can you cling to that crap? And you can certainly pass judgment and say, your brain is fucked. I mean, it's got to be completely broken. How could you draw this conclusion? You had to, deliberately step over the truth. You had to stomp on it, deliberately, willfully, watch your foot, crush the truth under it. You had to do that to be able to cling to this God. There's no other way to do it. You had to wipe your, well, whatever, no more metaphors. But that's what you had to do to get there. And Matt is doing the same thing. His last video, he's talking about consciousness and how we're all one consciousness, and that somehow underneath it all, it's all bliss. That's what he calls it, bliss. He thinks consciousness is bliss. He thinks nature is bliss. Gaia, this whole thing. You think it has something to do with bliss? No, it's all about a reproducing fucking molecule, damn it. Will somebody prove that it's not about a reproducing molecule? That there isn't our oldest ancestor, living ancestor, wasn't just a reproducing freaking machine? I mean, what the hell are we talking about here? And it didn't do it on purpose. It didn't say one day, I'm going to now cause the chain of events that will create zillions of life forms and they will evolve over billions of years. It didn't make a judgment and say, this is a good idea, I think I'll do this. No, it farted. It just, shit, all of a sudden it reproduced. It didn't intend to do it. It didn't say, I'm going to reproduce today. No, its chemistry finally got right, and it just happened. It reproduced, and then its copy of itself reproduced, and then its copies of itself reproduced. And there, the game started. But it didn't initiate. There was no finger, no intelligent finger poking that first event. Okay, or looking over it and saying, this is great. Now I can watch the chain reaction of horror. You know, we can go through 4 billion years of Tyrannosauruses and all kinds of shit eating each other and the whole mess and it's a horror story. Okay, it's not a fairy tale, damn it. How come people have to keep turning this into some sort of golden unicorn, Puss in Boots, you know, whatever, happy ending kind of crap? It doesn't have any of those things in it. It doesn't have any elements of that. All right, it has this crazy, ludicrous prospect where we are, you know, it takes 20 years to finally grow a brain. You just spend a few years just saying, what the hell, I got a brain, and then you figure out that, what the fuck, you're not going anywhere, you're going to a grave. That's your destination. You're gonna fucking start rotting. You're gonna decompose over decades. It'll take you decades to do it, and then you're gonna die and be in a grave. What the hell is that shit? This isn't magic. This isn't fantastic design. It's crazy. And then if you mixed, you know, there's another thing is there's like this notion somehow. If you mixed all this consciousness together, that somehow comes out to bliss. No, it comes out to a big, brown, ugly pile of shit. Okay? Really brown. Okay? Because, yeah, there's some good. I mean, right now, somebody's getting laid, and they're blissing a little bit. Okay? But for most people, it's mediocrity and work and tedium and backache or headache or some other kind of ache and a misery here and a complexification there and a chores and this, and there's a lot of bullshit to this thing living. And we have it good. I mean, we have it sophisticated and cleaned up. We're not living out fucking there. I mean, come on, people. God, you're just insane, this nonsense. You keep, you know, just contriving this bullshit, these excuses to just say this all makes sense, it's all a design, we have to do it, we have to perpetuate it, all somehow going somewhere, we're accomplishing something. And we're doing nothing, we're doing the same thing over and over and over, we're just chasing tail, and literally chasing tail. And there's nothing to be accomplished here. You get you're just driven by desire pushed into you, and you know, built into you by nature and the conditioning and your culture and all the rest of this crap, and it's all subjective. So much of it is subjective crap. So anyway, and Heidi over at Vloggerheads talks about agnostic, like we're all somehow supposed to be agnostic because there's no real evidence, there's no, you know, and why take the religious delusion away from the people if it makes them happy? And the reason why is because that's how we get all this unsustainable crap, is because everybody's going with some sort of subjective opinion of value. So they look around, they say, oh, I think that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. Oh, I want some of that. I desire it. And so therefore, there's cause for everybody else to think there's purpose here. I mean, if you don't have enough desire, I said this in one video that YouTube banned, but anyway, I mean, if you don't have enough desire, you're just labeled crazy. And, you know, then we're going to take away your rights to make any decisions about your own life anymore because somehow you don't have the sufficient enough addiction. You're not enough of a heroin addict. I mean, it really is the crazy people are running the nut house. It really is. That's really the way the world is. And if you're rational enough to see the truth, yeah, you're going to be in the minority, and it's a sad fact that most human beings are just caught up in the chase. They're just playing, they're just the rats in the stinking maze. They won't slow down for 10 minutes, climb up the wall, and take a good look around and figure out where the fuck they are. No, they're just too caught up. They can't resist. They smell the cheese and they just keep chasing it. And they can't take just a little bit of time off and say, wait a minute, I'm going to reflect on what the fuck I'm doing, what the hell's going on in my brain. I mean, are these wheels turning in any kind of real world productive manner? Are they just turning to get what I want? And is what I want something that's objectively good? Does it have anything to do with the universe or the world or all the other people living here? Does it just have to do with satisfying my organs? You know, satisfying my ego, satisfying my stupid fucktarded psychology. I mean, that's all we're doing. We're chasing a bunch of individual psychological bullshit. We're just this, and it's just all it's just built on that stupid design, that stupid DNA molecule, consumption and reproduction. So here we are on the more complex layer of the biosphere, and so yeah, we're kind of complex and eccentric. Big deal. Eccentric is not brilliant, okay? It's interesting, but it's not anything. All right, so grow up, people. Anyway, yeah, I'll throw the Van Gogh painting in the background just because I like this one. And it's like the most unknown of the Van Goghs. It's probably the best one. But see, it's all subjective, you know. But there's beauty everywhere. Anything can be beautiful. Even something ugly can be beautiful.